Happy New Year's, comic book familia. This is the very first live show of 2024, and I can honestly say that I have done more videos than Peter in 2024 so far.
Well.
Yeah,
I've had
two videos out today.
I've had two out today, Efren. So
Live, I'm talking about live.
okay, live. I'll give you live. Yeah.
So far, I'm one up, and that's, by the end of this week, I'm sure you'll have 2 or 3 live videos going on, so I won't be able to compete with you. But anyways, my name is Efren Passpoint Comics. Welcome to our show. I was talking to Triple G Peter about a week ago and saying, I should do a show for 2024, the first day of, New Year's. And I thought of you guys immediately. Every time I do videos, constantly, you guys are always on my mind, And if you don't know the people around me, shame on you, but I'm going to introduce them anyways. First one is Peter, Triple G. How's it going, Peter?
Very good, mate. Very good. Excited to be. This is, like you say, the first show of the new year. Very exciting, Efren. Looking forward to getting into it.
And we have James, One Good Scare. Also, James T. Keegan. He has 2 YouTube channels on YouTube.
Ew, what's going on?
Good.
Thank you
Thanks
for the
joining us.
invite. This is a seldom appearance on your channel, but I love it when I'm here. So thank you.
I think this is the second time that you're on my channel. And last but not least, Luke Hydro Collectibles. This is his first time on my channel live, right, Luke? I believe.
I believe that is correct. Yeah, and I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, so like I said, I don't want to do a show. If I ever do shows, I hardly ever do them by myself, except the pre-taped ones, But if I'm going live, I think of you guys first, So hopefully we'll be able to do more of these in this year and years to come, So I think we're all just trying to have a good time when we do these.
Absolutely. Having a bit of fun, bit of a laugh.
Yeah. But before we go, let's check out the comments and see who's here. This is your buddy. I got to say hi to your buddy, StreamYard. So, and then my nephew, Hoodrat Comics. He's the one. He does the panels with me at San Diego Comic Con. So I always appreciate that. And of course, we have Fuzzy. Fuzzy, I sent you the books, so they should be getting there in about a week or 2. He won the contest on Peter's channel, so I sent him the books. And I don't know who this guy is, but I'm gonna say hi to him anyway. So
good looking. That's all I know about him.
Yeah. And we have Dead Man. Hey, Happy New Year's. Thanks for joining. And we have Sean Hogan. Thank you. I'm not used to hosting. I think I may pass this off to Peter pretty soon.
You want me to do the comments, Efren? Shall I do the comments when you finish this?
There's only one more comment after this, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And we have Fuzzy again saying, "Have you had a Swiss roll yet, James?"
Yes, they have a different name for it, and I was trying to using Google Translate to explain to the dad that we don't call this that. We call it a Swiss roll. I don't like Swiss rolls though. I didn't eat it. It's black.
What are Swiss rolls? I have no idea.
So it's like a
Black Forest.
It's sort of like a cake with like a swirl of like cream or whatever through the kind of.
You've never had a Swiss roll?
They have them here in the United States. Yes, I see them. They're like little round. They're round, right? With chocolate? No.
Yeah. Chocolate or like Black Forest Gatto or whatever. Yeah.
Lush Black Forest one's lovely.
Yeah, it's a Christmas tradition actually here. So that
nice.
They were around me, but I didn't partake.
And we also have Thorin Sparte. Hi from Switzerland. Hey, thanks for joining us.
Oh, he must be like next door then, is he?
I love that name. That name.
Yeah, it's a cool name.
Obviously heard that you're going live, James, and jumped on.
Yeah, must have. Yeah.
Probably heard you for tools.
Or Guten Tag, depending on what region you're in.
And here comes Fuzzy with the jokes. I meant sorry.
That's where my mind went straight to, I have to say, Fuzzy. But yeah.
Is a Swiss roll some kind of sexual act?
You've never had a sexual Swiss roll? Oh, yeah.
No, but I'm intrigued.
I can't say I have either, Peter. I can't say I have.
Well, I'll tell you about it offline. Yeah. It involves chocolate rolling and lots of buttercream. Filth.
I wasn't going to say something, but when you guys said Swiss roll, I'm going, should I mention that? Or I'm not sure what you guys are talking about.
Is this actually a thing? I've never heard of this. And
no, it's not, James. I'm making it.
Okay. All right.
And we also have Padbird J. Hey, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. So, got another message here. Thorin, I can.
Okay, I know who this is.
Oh, and I told her to sign on so she can say hi. So my daughter's here for a couple minutes. Hi. Thanks for joining us. And let's look at some more comments here. It was a joke. What's happened to you all? Any of you guys have a hangover? Or are you guys all past that? Those are decades gone by.
Slept through it.
Past that.
So.
Yeah, past life.
I've been drinking today, but I'm not hungover.
Still pissed.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So the topic for today, when I was talking to Peter, saying, we should do a show basically welcoming in 2024 and, what's going to be happening with movies, TV shows, comic books, video games, and comic book conventions, and our own YouTube channels. We want to talk about at the end, what we have set up, hopefully, something good for 2024 that all of you who watch us will enjoy. So my daughter's starting to bug me here. What's she saying? Father, pay attention to me. Wish me luck at work. Good luck at work, Mija. So,
Good luck.
yeah, good luck. You guys ready?
Yeah, let's
Born
do it.
ready. Yeah.
All right. So this is Welcome 2024. We're like I said, we're going to talk about these following topics, and the first one up is movies. So thank you for the slide, by the way, Peter. I got one. I did find one for TV shows too, by the way. I did some searching. I did find it. But these are some of the movies that are going to be coming out now that the writers and artists strike is over with. I'm sure we're going to be inundated with movies. Hopefully, by the end of this year, after they get the ball rolling, so to speak, when they get up and running. What are you guys looking for? Any specific movies interest you on this list?
Oh, absolutely. There's a few that jump straight out for me, but probably not ones that people would automatically go to. I'm sure Luke will be the same. Desperate to see Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. That's higher on my list. Beetlejuice 2, but I've got trepidation with that because the first one's so perfect. I'll let the other guys, because there's loads more I could talk about there. One that I am absolutely not looking forward to, I have to be honest, is Venom 3. Couldn't give a rat's ass about that. I'll go to the cinema and watch it, but just couldn't give a rat's ass.
Do you know what the topic is going to be about? What the movie's going to be about at all? I haven't heard anything about it.
It'll be more just Tom Hardy making stupid jokes with the symbiote, I would imagine.
Sounding like
Fighting-
a Cookie Monster, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fighting
just-
another different colored symbiote. I would imagine. So,
Absolutely. More CGI stuff flying around the screen. Just, yeah.
And a post-credit scene that doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
That is immediately undone by the next movie.
Yeah. I mean, one of the ones on there that really interests us, Efren, and sorry, the guys I'm sure will jump in and see what they're looking forward to, but I'm completely unaware of Twisters. Is that a follow-on to the original Twister?
When you sent me this shot, I looked into it, and it's a follow-up from the original movie, I believe.
Cool.
So yeah,
Cool.
I'm looking forward. The first one was with Helen Hunt.
Yeah.
I remember, and Bill. I forgot the guy's his
Is
last
it
name.
Paxton or Pullman? It's one of them.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a great movie when it came out. You know, long
96 or
long
something.
time
Wasn't it? It
ago,
was that
man.
long ago. Like,
Yeah, I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to that.
yeah.
I'm looking forward to Ghostbusters. I got to watch the previous movie before I watch that one, though. I heard it was a really good movie. So hopefully it'll be a good movie.
Yeah.
What about the rest of you guys? You guys looking forward to any of these movies, or ones that are not on this list?
I'm curious about quite particularly the back half of the year. Quite a lot of these we've not really seen anything of. Some behind the scenes stuff. Transformers 1. I'm very curious at the visual style of that. What's that going to look like? That's the Chris Hemsworth one, isn't it? Where he's Optimus Prime.
Oh yeah, completely forgot about
That's-
that. The
yeah.
animated one, is that?
Is it animated? Or is it animated like it looks animated, or animated like it's realistically like?
Do you know what, James? It's really interesting you're saying that, because that's completely fallen off my radar. I
Yeah.
remember them being a lot of talk about it. I
remember you being very upset.
I'm pretty sure it's an animated one, and I
But,
remember,
is it-
I was upset.
Is it
wasn't
like
I?
it looks live action? It's just animated because it's all on Cybertron, and you don't, do you know what I mean?
I'm not sure. I've not heard anything about it since we got that kind of news about Chris Hemsworth doing the voice of Prime.
Yeah, curious about that one. There's a Lord of the Rings anime movie at the end of the year, December 19th, War of Rohirrim, I think it's called. So that one I'm curious about as well. Furiosa, I can't wait for. I think that's going to be great. Yeah. Deadpool, obviously we've seen too much of it, I feel, at this stage, but I'm curious how that turns out. And then I love a good alien movie. So Alien Romulus, I think it's called. Looking forward to that one as well.
Do you guys, speaking of Deadpool, when they talk so much about a movie, does it ruin it for you, or you guys just ignore it completely, don't even watch it?
No, it's ruined it for me.
Yeah, I suppose it for me as well.
I don't want to know so much. And the problem is that in this day and age with social media and everything, you can't avoid it, even if you if you really want to, because there's still so much longer to wait for the movie. So it's not like you can just go radio silence for a while and avoid it. This is going to be ongoing for months.
And it's like in our algorithm, because we're looking at nerdy,
Yeah.
slummy YouTube things. It's nerdy things, so that's going to come up on our Instagram or Twitter or whatever.
I think that movie has a lot of pressure on it. It may, in a way, it may save the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because moving forward, hopefully it will carry that momentum, to better movies and TV shows. But we'll see. Yeah. Luke, what about you? Any good movies?
Sorry, I'm just laughing at Fuzzy's comment. Yeah, so again, like everyone says, Planet of the Apes, Ghostbusters, Beetlejuice 2, these are all things that I'm looking forward to. But the one that I'm mostly curious about, and I know you're all going to roll your eyes, it is Kraven the Hunter. I'm so curious to see how that lands and what sort of film that is, because I think the
Base
actor
plant,
is,
I'd imagine.
I think the actor's a great actor. He's
So is Tom Hardy.
from Kick-Ass and all that lot. I would like to be surprised. You know what? The Tom Hardy Venom stuff, I only fell out of love with it after the first one. I wasn't happy that we didn't get the original origin story with like the symbiote and Spider-Man. But if you can ignore that and just imagine that it is now just joining with Eddie Brock, that first one was actually an enjoyable popcorn flick. Like, I don't mind taking it just as it is, not tied to anything else, just enjoying seeing Venom on the big screen. I fell out of love with it when they completely ruined Cletus Cassidy and Carnage, despite having Woody Harrelson from Natural Born Killers fame. It should have wrote itself. It should have been perfect, and it wasn't.
Yeah, I can't agree with you on that. I'm afraid I thought the first.
That's
one
going
was
to be
awful.
shite. Out of all of them, I think it's the best chance because it's a most violent year director, and he's great. That's a great movie. So that gives me a degree of confidence that there will be some good elements to it, but it's another Sony shite, isn't it? So
Anybody
That's why I used the word curious rather than excited for.
anybody excited about another Bad Boys film?
The last one was great.
Bad Boys 1. So
The last one was like shockingly good. So like that
was.
potentially could be fantastic as well. So hopefully.
Sean just in the comments has mentioned he just spotted Quiet Place. I love the Quiet Place movies. So yeah, I'm excited to see a little bit more of that universe. I do enjoy the Quiet Place movies.
Well, like the best sequence in that series is at the start of the second one. You see the like initial outbreak kind of thing.
Yeah.
So a whole movie of just that, I think, is going to be awesome.
Just speaking about kind of Quiet Place type films, Bird Box. Any of you guys see Bird Box with Sandra Bullock? There's apparently I haven't seen it yet, but there was either a follow-on or in the same continuity. Bird Box. I can't remember. Is it Italy or something like that? Bird Box Italy. But I've not seen that yet. Anybody watched it?
No, I haven't even heard about it. There's a couple of movies at the bottom row that grabbed my interest. On December 13th is The Karate Kid. I think they're going to have some people from the TV series on there. I believe so. And I think
it's Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio, isn't it?
Yeah.
Team up? Yeah, they're doing a talent scout now for.
That can't be right, can it?
Yeah, I've heard that.
They announced it together, like they.
Yeah.
No, I know it's being announced, but there's going to be an international talent search to find the person that's going to play the Karate Kid.
Oh,
Are they going to get that out by December 30th this year?
Yeah, but it's only there's no CGI, there's no massive special effects. It's people in a room. There's some training, I'd imagine, and choreography and all. But like, yeah, that's a pretty quick movie to make, I would imagine.
Yeah, I started filming for it yesterday, Peter.
I was going to say my application's in. Yeah, I misread it. I thought it was Sumo Kid. So yeah, I might not get into that one.
Just going back to the whole Bad Boys movie, I'm not necessarily excited for that, but I am excited to see when Will Smith will win us back over. Like I think that he will. I don't think he's done. I don't think he's out. I think I want Will Smith to come back. I don't think that he should be gone forever.
That'll be I Am Legend, I would have thought. I mean,
Yeah, that's
I'm
a
looking
weird one,
forward to
isn't
that.
it? Because they're saying they're going to do it, but based on the alternate ending where he survives, which just seems weird how you would make people watch the alternate ending, unless they're going to re-release that film as well with that ending to catch people up.
Was that not film? I would have thought that would have been this year. Has that not been filming yet? No.
Don't think so.
No.
No, okay.
Gladiator 2, I don't think that particularly interests us.
I don't think
Pedro's
it's
in it, so
needed.
I'll be there day one.
Bloody friggin' Pedro, of course.
Is he?
Yeah, Pedro's one of the main characters.
Okay.
Does he
And,
wear a
Paul
helmet?
Mescal is a great actor as well. You
the
better
whole
not
movie?
cover up that luscious hair. Yeah, I'm actually gonna. That's the world premiere for that. It's gonna be in London, so I'm actually gonna go and try and get Pedro's signature. Like, I'm gonna,
And then we'll
Go
see you
wear
on the
a
news a couple hours later being arrested,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
yeah.
how will you get
Stalker.
around your restraining order, James? Are you just going to ignore that? Or?
James, when you do that,
piece
I'll
of
come
paper.
with you.
Yeah, all right, let's do
I'll
it.
come with. I'll meet you in London.
Absolutely.
We'll go
Sounds
down
good.
together.
Yeah,
There's another Godzilla and Kong movie coming out. I haven't seen Godzilla -1, correct? That's what the movie's called. You guys, Peter especially, you've been talking so much about that movie. Such a good
Yeah.
movie. I got to go check it out.
incredible.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Very good movie.
Well, this
yeah.
is the thing. Like the new Japanese one is pretty much putting the American version to shame. So I think the American version's gonna fall off a cliff, and nobody will be interested in because everyone will want more from the Japanese ones.
Two different, very different movies. I think.
Different tones and
the Japanese one is very much a traditional story. It's about loss and all that stuff. Godzilla versus Kong is just like all the rest of the MonsterVerse movies. It's popcorn action flick for kids, basically. I mean, I love them for what they are, but there is no attachment in any of those movies to any of the characters that I've had. Whereas the Godzilla -1 one, I fell in love with the characters. I think it's a different tone movie, really.
It seems to me that who owns the rights to Godzilla then? If they're two different companies that are.
So the Lionsgate has licensed an American version, like to do an American version. Basically, they have the American rights to the character. So.
Cool. Any of you guys interested in Madam Web? I know that's a Marvel.
Absolutely not.
So
Final
I was.
Destination-y vibes were interesting.
Do you know what? I was
yeah.
interested until I saw the trailer.
Yeah,
awful.
The storyline, the idea
like-
of what
yeah.
it could have been, sounded good. Like it's effectively Terminator in a
Terminator,
Spider-Man
yeah.
universe.
That trailer for me is one of the worst put together trailers.
Oh no.
horrendous.
It's just awful. Efren, just going to interrupt, just quickly jump to the chat. Fuzzy's just saying there, it's about a little kid from the original movies talking about Gladiator. I think so, Fuzzy, that's what I understand. Mad Spidey, welcome, mate. Hope you're well. Mad Spidey, you haven't dropped us your address for your comic wins. Make sure you send us that on Instagram, mate, and I'll send those off to you. We've got your pal Hoodrat here. Nice to see you, Hoodrat. Hope you're well. And we've got Alex. Hi all, Happy New Year. Hope Christmas was excellent for everyone. Same back to you, Alex. Sorry to interrupt, Efren.
No, that's okay, man. Like I said, I'm so used to you being in charge, so it just makes it easier for me. So go ahead. So I heard the Joker movie is gonna be a musical, right?
Yes. Yeah. Can't wait. It's gonna be, I think it's gonna
Really?
be fantastic. Yeah.
You don't think it's a
I love
stretch?
that idea. I love musicals as well. But I think it's gonna it'll be a psychological element. It'll be like Harley Quinn's fantasy of like like a mad love, like bombastic kind of dance sequences that are just kind of in her head. I think it's gonna be
I
cool.
hope Joaquin Phoenix. I hope he can sing. You know.
Do you know what? I'm gonna get grief here. Joker is a good movie, but I don't think it's worth all of the praise and the plaudits that people throw it away. Joaquin Phoenix, I've just watched him in Caesar. Yeah, it was dog shit. Napoleon, sorry. Yeah, it was utter crap, and he plays the same character in pretty much every. In fact, I'm not sure he's acting. I think that's him. And this hasn't got me excited, I have to say.
Have you seen the film Her?
No, not seen that one.
So it's Joaquin Phoenix as a man who falls in love with his handheld device, and the handheld device is the voice of Scarlett Johansson.
Right.
It's actually
Lucky
it
guy.
sounds ridiculous, but it's actually a really good film.
Yeah, he falls in love with Siri,
I'd like to
basically.
recommend that you guys check that out if you get a chance.
So they did a very similar sounding version to that on the recent American Horror Stories version. And this time the Siri device was played by Gwyneth Paltrow, and it was really, really good. Guys, we've kind of skirted around these movies, and we've not talked about what is going to be the best movie of the year, which is obviously Sonic the Hedgehog #3.
Oh yeah.
I like the last
you
one.
know
Are
what?
we doing another?
It will be.
Another Peter shows up in Blueface.
I've got my face paint ready. I cannot wait. Yeah.
Sweet. That'll be good. Borderlands is one I'm curious about. That's a adaptation of a video game. Really solid cast. Eli Roth directing it. So like I'm excited to see a trailer for that, like what the kind of visual style of that's going to be. There's another one I was like, we should mention. That's escaping me. I can't remember which one. Oh, Mufasa. I didn't even know this was a thing. We're getting
Yeah, me
Mufasa, like a Lion King prequel.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah,
gonna
but
say
it's
it
the
had to
li-
be his early years. Yeah.
It's a live action version, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's James,
Well,
James
it
Earl
is?
Jones
it's all
again.
CGI really, but it's
Oh, no.
like
Yeah.
live action.
But that's what I
Um,
mean by the Transformers thing. Is it gonna be like a Lion King? Like it is an animated movie, but it's not supposed to look at like
The problem that I have is with that Lion King movie, I couldn't sit through all of it because they just don't emote enough. Like they don't. It's like watching those old creature comfort shows on BBC. You know, where they just have the animals scurrying about but doing a voiceover. It just doesn't work. Like I want to see that emotion in the character's face, and you just can't get that when you do that ultra realism.
Yeah. Last one I want to mention, Ballerina, is the John Wick spin-off with Anna de Armas. So
Oh, wow.
I think that could be really cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I can't remember, James. I can't remember if you've seen this movie or not. But we had a New Year's Eve movie kind of night last night, and we watched. I can't remember the name of it. Is it Serico? Circo?
Sicario.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that reminds us of John Wick. That was bloody mental.
Oh,
That
amazing
was
movie with Benicio del
superb.
Toro and Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
Oh, incredible. Have you seen the second one?
Sicario 1 and 2, yeah.
Oh no, hang on. I might be on a different film here. Then I haven't seen the second one. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the guy end of World War II, where he's a prospector, a gold miner, and the Germans.
Sisu.
Sisu, yeah, that's
Sisu,
it.
yeah.
Sisu. Yeah,
Also a
that
good movie.
Was, yeah,
Really
very, very
phenomenal
cool.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean a little bit unbelievable. Let's be honest.
Oh, it's so
It-
stupid. Like the
It
ending.
reminds us of
especially,
John
like-
Wick. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
at the end where he literally nosedives the aircraft and gets out and walks off. I kind of thought, you're pushing it a bit. Yeah,
I just
time,
love
yeah.
how just like comedically unrelenting he is
Yeah.
in the movie. It's fantastic. It's bizarre, but it's like it's good fun.
Fuzzy's just in terms of TV. Yeah, I don't know if you've got a slide, Efren, but Echo
yes.
in 8 days' time.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting.
What about Night Swim? Is that a horror movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we talked about it on our channel. I think like in our first One Good Scare was like the newest trailer. I think it's about either a haunted swimming pool or like some kind of creature that lives in a swimming pool. But it's like it's basically their pool.
The trailer's been very good at giving very little away, other
Yeah,
than, as
yeah.
James says, it's a swimming pool.
Something to do with the swimming pool, but it's got a good cat, White Russell, you know. So and there's another actor, I think the wife character. I can't remember who plays her, but it's an actress I like anyway. So
It piques my
I'm hoping
interest. That's out shortly, isn't it? That's not long.
yeah, that'll probably be
this
next
week.
live episode, next live show we do will probably be a review of that. So
Cool. So, any other movies before we move forward, guys? Are we all caught up?
I think we've mentioned all of them, haven't we?
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. If you could only watch one movie,
We're sorry, we haven't mentioned all of them, Efren. Sorry, just because I don't know if it's times past, but Dune #2.
Yeah.
Any of you guys? I mean, I loved I
I've never
think I
even
loved
heard
the first one, but I don't know. I'm not.
I'm stoked.
particularly
Can't wait.
excited.
It's gonna be excellent. It's one
So-
I'm not like anticipating it. I'm just letting it come. Do you know what I mean? And I'm sure I'm gonna go see it. It's gonna be great. There's some really amazing new additions to the cast, like Clarence Pugh, the guy that played Elvis. I can't remember his name now. It's escaped me.
yeah, I know who you're talking about. He was
Yeah,
nominated for an Oscar.
he looks great in it. Christopher Walken's in it, so like, yeah, it's good. I think this will be really cool. And like the back half of Dune, I think is a better, like, you know, a cool. We have the setup. This is like the event, you know.
So I'm a big fan of the original book, the original novelization, and I like the older movies. But I've purposely avoided this first half so that I can watch them both together. So
Fair,
I will literally go in completely new. I'll watch the first half at home, and if I enjoy it enough to then go out to the cinema and watch the second one, then obviously I will, which I assume I will. But that's the way I've chosen to do it. So I just completely ignored it when it first came out. I've managed to get by without anything major being revealed or told. So I'm not sure where they decide to put the break. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
I think
It feels quite. It doesn't feel like a lot of part 1, part 2s where it's like it feels like it's been cut in half. It kind of has like a, you know, feels like there's a, you know, almost like Star Wars where it kind of breaks, but it's like a complete movie. You know.
I think I agree with Sean. I think it was okay. It was visually, it was absolutely stunning. But I have to say, and I don't know if it's just because I'm not that familiar with the source material, I did find it quite confusing. I thought it's quite a complicated, or it felt quite a complicated story.
Yeah, the
first
lore is
movie.
very, and there's even like stuff they don't even get into in the movie
Yeah.
that's like very very deep. And we're getting like I think a spin-off show of that about like
Right.
the mother kind of characters.
Oh.
So HBO Max I think is doing that, so it'll be interesting.
All right, guys, pick one movie out of just this list. If you only could see one movie this year, what would it be?
Hands down, without even hesitation, Planet of the Apes.
Deadpool.
It's tough. I'm gonna say Deadpool as well, to be honest. Furiosa and Joker are very close, but like Deadpool, I'm just curious to see what they do. Like I think Ryan Reynolds getting to play with the Disney house, I think is gonna be really fun. So yeah, I'm curious for that one.
For me, it's been like 30 years at least. Beetlejuice 2. I just think, the first one is such a classic movie now. How are they, and 30 years basically since the first one came out. So I'm just really keeping my fingers crossed on that one.
The important thing is that even if you go in and watch that movie and it's bad or that it's just not for you, it doesn't affect the old one. So many people just think, oh, it's ruined. My childhood's ruined. No, it hasn't. Just ignore it and move on. You'll always have the old one. You'll always have the original.
Yeah. So we'll see, which one of these movies, we'll come back in 2024, December 31st, and we'll rank all these movies. Let's see which one it is. So you guys, on Instagram, all these feeds keep on popping up on your Instagram page. And this one popped up just like yesterday. So I had to put it on. It's a movie that it was shelved for some reason. It looks like they couldn't find a distributor, but it looks like it's going to be available in 2024. And it's Coyote versus Acme. So I just heard about this a couple of days ago. I didn't know this even was a movie. Yeah. And it says Eric Bauza, voice actor for Wile E. Coyote, took to social media to share the first look at Coyote versus Acme with the caption, "See you in 2024." So it looks like I didn't even knew this movie was made. It looks like it was gaining popularity on social media and it was shelved. But it looks like Warner Brothers is gonna have this movie out in theaters, coming this year. So hopefully it's a good movie. I love these animated movies when they have real life characters, basically melding into one world.
This feels very much like when the Sonic design came out and people hated it and everybody kind of banded together.
Yeah,
and
we
got
froze.
it
We all was
It feels
froze.
like that kind of situation where it's just people rallied behind it and now it's been saved, and I think that's great.
Has it been saved? I can't see what it says in the article. So we talked about this on Saturday Night Live a while ago. There are some big actors connected to this. I think isn't
John Cena?
Yeah, John Cena's connected. It was shelved again as part of the Warner Brothers interest in business ways of trying to save money on taxes
fraud.
and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
The Warner Brothers tax fraud, I think.
So the last I heard about this was that they'd put it out to sell to Amazon or Netflix or something like that, and there was a bit of a kind of an exercise, a fishing exercise to see if anybody would pick it up. But if it's going to be released, that's great news.
So that's my understanding, Peter. So what had happened is they had finished principal photography, which means that they had done the actual filming. They had put the film together, but without the animation being finished or even putting in at all. So then they shelved it because then they don't have to spend that additional money on the film unless they're ready to go ahead. And so now either one of two things has happened. I'm not sure which, but either they found someone else who's going to front the money and do the animation, put the film out, or they've seen the backlash that audiences have said, no, we want to see this, and they think, okay, we can make money out of it, and now they're putting it back on the shelf. Either way, I think it's quite cool. Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote have always been my personal favourites. I have their first appearance in comic books. It's one of my little prized possessions.
Nice.
And yeah, it's in the vein of Who Framed Roger Rabbit and stuff like that. I'm looking forward to it.
Now. My old grey matter's kicking into when we were talking about it on Saturday Night Live. And the image you've shown there, Efren, actually has really kicked in. I'm sure we had people in the chat saying that it was a legal drama. So it was
It's suing Acme for all their products not working when he tries to get the Roadrunner, which is a great idea. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be bringing in like Daffy, like fucking...
It'll
You're
bring
gonna
in
have characters
character
coming in as
witnesses,
witnesses and stuff like that. It'll be fun. I think it'll be really interesting.
We'll see. I'd like to see it.
Yeah, me too. So that's why I put it on there. Like I said, it just popped up on my feed a couple of days ago. So just decided to add it to the slides, So yeah,
It won't be amazing, but it'll be a silly, fun movie.
Yeah.
I think. Like I'll watch it definitely.
Yeah. So onward to TV shows. There are so many freaking TV shows that are coming out this year. I have a link here if everybody wants to check this out, where I found a webpage. This is most exciting TV shows of 2024. This is on Screen Rant, and also Deadline has every TV show that's coming from January to December. Even from the Weather Channel, they had some stuff on there. I went, dang, man, they have everything on there. So these are two really good sites to check out if you're interested to see all the TV shows that are coming out this year. But let's focus a little bit on this list right here. I'm not sure why the Joker one is on here. I think that's a movie.
This is just superhero projects, I think.
Oh, you're right.
Superhero stuff of the year. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The movies.
Some of these are TVs. I mean, some of these are TV shows. And Fuzzy mentioned earlier Echo. I'm really looking forward to that show too. I think it's going to be really good. It's almost like it looks almost like a Netflix show to me. The graph, and they're going to have all 5 episodes at once. They're going to.
Is it only 5?
That's what they said. All 5 are coming out on one day. They're saying.
Yeah. I'll binge that in a day, definitely. I love the 360, the 180 that everybody's done on it. Where we were hearing 6 months ago that was terrible and like unsalvageable, and since we've seen it, everybody loves like everything we've seen of it. So,
well, do you know what it is? It's Vincent D'Onofrio, isn't it? Like that's who we're going to watch it for.
100%, yeah. And Charlie Cox.
I couldn't care less about Echo as a character. I care about seeing more of the Kingpin story.
Yeah, well, hopefully the show makes you care. Like that's the kind of the make or break for it.
I am very nervous about it. Obviously, I'll go in and watch the full thing because that's what we do. I didn't warm to the actress who played Echo at all. I'm not convinced about the change to our power set. We did. You're right, James. We got whole hosts of people coming out and saying that this was utter dog shit. They were releasing it all in one go because they didn't think it would be strong enough to release week by week.
Yeah.
The trailer has been friggin' phenomenal, but you kind of think, is that because we've got everything that's good in the series
cool
in the
bits.
trailer?
Like, that's the thing. The rest of it's crap.
So yeah, I'm nervous of it. I'm nervous. Can I ask, what the shit is Kite Man? Hell yeah.
I'm assuming that's a Harley Quinn.
Yes,
He's my
spin-off
favorite
thing,
DC
character,
Peter.
God almighty. Yeah.
Have you
watched
guys seen Harley Quinn? Yes, I've been watching that series.
Yeah,
it's really
it's
good.
fantastic, and Kite Man's a great character in it. So,
Yes.
I mean, if give him his own thing, why not? Like, I assume it's going to be a limited, 6 episode kind of thing, or short episodes, maybe 10 minutes or whatever. But yeah, why not?
It'd be interesting. Hoodrat is just saying, is Echo coming out on Hulu as well? I don't know. I don't know if you know about that one, mate. It's definitely coming
Now
on
I
Disney
know
Plus.
it's on Disney, so I don't know if it's coming out on Hulu, So
Fuzzy's disagreeing. He thinks the character intrigues him. Recently watched Hawkeye. Hawkeye's an amazing series.
Yeah, I liked it too.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And Sean, X-Men 97. Not heard about this. This is a
Let's rock your day,
continuation
man.
of. Yeah, this is a continuation of the original cartoon. So that's going to be really exciting. Fuzzy's just confirming, yes, it's coming out on Hulu too.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one for sure. X-Men 97. God, I hope it's good. And I hope it's one thing about all these shows that are coming out now, a lot of them on our streaming shows. Back in the day when it used to be network TV, like it would be like 20 episodes to 24 episodes for a season. Now it's like we're lucky if we get 10, per show. Sometimes I wish they would make them a little bit longer, But like I said, Echo, they said they're dropping all 5 episodes on one day. I go, just 5 episodes? Seems like it should be a little bit longer. Hopefully it's a good show too.
I mean, it's got Daredevil in it, hasn't it? And the scene we've seen with Daredevil looks really, really cool. Yeah.
At the very bottom on the last row, second from the left, Creature Commandos. That's going to be one of the first shows that's done by James Gunn under James Gunn.
The first
film.
project, I think, to come out.
Yeah, one of the first ones, So hopefully, he'll be doing it justice, so to speak. The new DC universe under James Gunn, keeping my fingers crossed, But anything else grab your attention? Invincible, I just finished watching the first 4 episodes this year, I think it was, and then they stopped, and then it's going to continue. I was like, wow, it's a good series. I love that show, Invincible.
Yeah, I loved it in principle. I'm looking forward to the second part of season 2. I think that's going to be amazing. For me, it's jumping straight away is The Boys. I just love that universe.
Yeah.
And I'm intrigued by the Penguin as well, even though I wasn't particularly blown away by the Batman movie. But I am interested to see what they do with the Penguin.
Yeah, Penguin's up there for me. Can't wait for that. I love everything we've seen of it. Agatha, what's it called now? Is it still House of Harkness, or has it moved to something
I
else?
think they've changed the title, haven't they? I can't remember what it's called now.
I think I hated the new title, but whatever. I was hoping that was going to lean more into the kind of supernatural, kind of spooky area, like Werewolf by Night kind of stuff, Salem, Charles. There's some behind the scenes stuff, and it doesn't look like it's going that route, so my kind of excitement for that's gone down. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, I'm curious about, because that's kind of like leaning into MCU style Spidey cartoon. So like I love a good Spidey cartoon, so I'll give that one a watch, definitely.
I'm with you on that one, James. Padbear, is Watchmen a continuation? No, mate. It's a DC animated version of Watchmen. It's not a continuation of the series.
Adaptation?
I think so. I was
curious. I only heard about it like the other day that they were even doing it.
Yeah. Part of the DC kind of animated line, I think.
Right.
At the bottom, it says Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 2 and Part 3. I didn't even know Part 1 came out. Did it?
It's not. The trailer came out the other week, and the trailer looks rough.
Oh, it's on top. It says there. Yeah, it's coming out January 9th. I didn't even see my list up there. Yeah. What about Suicide Squad? Are you guys interested in that?
It's an anime, so
okay.
We'll see. Yeah. Eyes of Wakanda, is that the one that was only announced the other day?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. When I see something from it, I'll be maybe excited for that.
Luke, of all these, I'm talking about the animated series that are coming out this year. Would you sit down and watch them with your kids, any of these, or you think they're going to be too young to watch some of these shows?
My kids have watched the old X-Men animated series that Fox Kids done back in the day that I grew up with. They've watched all of that, as they have for the Spider-Man series of the same time. So without a doubt, they'll be sitting down to watch that new X-Men 97. I really hope that does do well. I know we got new Spider-Man stories coming out in animated form with the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, but I really want them to go back and continue telling that story that the 94 cartoon left off on. It was such a big cliffhanger. We need to find where Mary Jane's gone. John Semper, the creator, already wrote a couple of scripts for it. So I say get him back on board and let's get that going. Hopefully the X-Men series will do really well.
Oh my God, such a great memory you have there. Mary Jane, completely forgot about that. Where did she go?
Well, according to the script, which I have sat and read, she ends up in Victorian London, hunted by Jack the Ripper, who happens to be Carnage.
Bonkers. Just a bonkers idea for the next season, but please make that. Yeah. What would they call it? Spider-Man 98 or something would it be? So it ran for 5 seasons, didn't it? It came out in 94, but it depends how close those seasons were to when it wrapped up. Yeah. When literally the second they announced X-Men, my first thought was, please do Spider-Man next. Like, I'd love to see that. I'd love to see Christopher Daniel Barnes come back.
Yeah.
Great.
Wow, I didn't know that at all. Now, let me ask you one more question, Luke, since, you always talk about, like how we've been doing away, so to speak, with Blu-ray discs or just not, everybody's streaming. If these two animated series came out in Blu-ray, would you buy them?
So I actually have them on Blu-ray, but they're foreign imports. But they are still, even though they're Blu-ray, they are still standard definition. The reason why they've released them on Blu-ray is because you fit a whole season on one disc, so you actually get less discs for the space. But yeah, they are foreign imports, so they're not actually. I don't know how genuine they are, but they're really nice. They've got all the box art, the printing on the CDs. They've got all the main menus and all that lot, like the menu cards and screens. It's all done legit, like it looks legit. But again, whether or not it is, I'm not sure. If they did release an official one, I'd be all over it. I'd go buy a steelbook. I would buy however it came out.
I live close to the border in Mexico, so I'm gonna go across the border and buy some for you, and they'll be legit. So all right, guys, let's go on to some more shows that I made some slides for that that came up on my feed, so that are not part of this list, and we can talk about them also. These are three of them: Eyes of Wakanda, Shogun, and Avatar: The Last Airbender. What do you guys think of these shows? Oh, and House of Dragon, of course, is finally coming back.
Yeah, House of
think
Dragon. I can't
yeah.
wait for it. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. So I mean, the first one came out. Did it come out in 2022 or 2023? I forget now.
22, because Last of Us was their big show for 2023. So
Wow.
yeah, summer 2022. So like it's further away than you.
I know they were not affected by the strike because I read, because it was filmed in a different country, so they were not.
UK, mostly UK actors. So SAG-AFTRA they wouldn't have been part of. So they were
Yeah.
able to continue for the most part. Yeah.
Yeah. Shogun was an original miniseries, I think, from the 1980s that I watched, and I really enjoyed it. So hopefully I think this is like a reboot of it. So I'm really interested in buying and watching this show also. Then Eyes of Wakanda, of course.
I think the trailer's out for Shogun. I seem to remember watching.
Oh, really?
it not so
I've
long
seen
ago.
tons of posters
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that you can look at some of that anyway.
Yeah, it's based on a James Clavell book, and like I said, the original series was in 1980, and I watched it back then. It was a really good series, so hopefully this one will be good also. And any of you guys are any of you guys into Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Possibly when I was younger.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed the last movie. To be honest, I know people don't think it's particularly good, or it didn't do well
Literally
at the
considered
cinema.
one of the worst movies ever made.
Yeah, but I quite like it. I've watched it with my son a few times,
Yeah.
and it's not bad. Yeah. So I'm interested in the world. So yeah, I'll give this a go.
Yeah, I'll give it a watch as well.
Yeah, I think I'm interested. I didn't even know the Eyes of Wakanda was going to be a TV show until
I think
It
it's a
was just
cartoon,
announced though,
Efren.
wasn't it?
Is it not a cartoon?
Maybe. I don't know now. This will premiere in 2024 in Disney, but I'm not sure. I just looked at this.
I would assume it's a
mascot. I
cartoon if
figured it was
it's
live
out
action.
this year. Like if it's live action, there's no way they'd have it finished. Because like
Oh, it is.
half
It does say it's going to be an animated series.
Yeah, yeah,
It's gonna-
and that's about like the previous Black Panthers, isn't it? Going back historically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be animated. And Fuzzy, none of these interest you? Not even House of the Dragon? Oh my God.
I don't think Fuzzy's watched any of the House of the Dragon. I can't remember him saying that he'd watched the last season.
If I remember right, he was burned by the ending of Game of Thrones and didn't want
Yeah.
to come back and watch it. I think I know a good few people that are like that. That just like, no, I don't want to get into
That's
it again.
me.
It's going to end shit.
I'm one of those people. I'm right there with Fuzzy. None of this interests me, unfortunately.
Wow. Have you ever seen House of Dragon, Luke?
No, but
It's
for the
incredible.
same reason as what James said, like Game of Thrones ending, just I can't invest any more time in something that let me down so much. Like I really loved Game of Thrones all the way up until that last season.
Well, the creator of Game of Thrones, he didn't finish writing these books, so they just went on their own tangent, basically, towards the
The
end.
Game of Thrones series. House of the Dragon is based on a kind of historical lore book. So there's the
Okay.
entire story is there. So there's, they're not going off script for any of this.
Oh.
That doesn't make sense to me, Luke. I have to say, House of the Dragon is absolutely phenomenal TV. That's like saying there's been some shitty Spider-Man comics in the past, so I'm never going to read Spider-Man again. Do you know what I mean? You need to just give Game of Thrones season 1 a go and just see what you think, because it's
But what I'll
phenomenal.
do is this is what I do with a lot of television now is I get it, because you need to support things while they're running in order to
Wait till
them
it's
to be
over and watch it
continued.
all then if it's good.
That's what I do
I'd
with Game
rather
of
just
Thrones,
wait
yeah.
and binge watch the whole lot when
Fair.
it's done.
I'm
And
not
it's
gonna argue
interesting
with that,
'cause-
man. That's I think
Yeah,
completely
it's
fair.
interesting because that's exactly what we did with Game of Thrones. We did that during COVID. I
Well,
think.
that's exactly what I did with Game of Thrones. So I binged watched all of it when I knew the last season was about to air, and then I watched the last season week by week, and then that's how I caught up. I done similar when Breaking Bad started. Like
still not seen
I
that.
waited for ages before then binge watching it to then get to those seasons to tick over week by week. Yeah, I'm never the same for Invincible, the same for The Boys. I'm waiting for it, and then I'll binge watch the season when it's done. I love all of The Boys that I've seen. I've loved all of Invincible that I've seen.
So that makes more sense because, sorry, I must have misunderstood you. I thought you said you would never watch House of Dragons because you didn't like how Game of
No,
Thrones
it's more about investing the time. And so when it comes down to it, if people say, well, that was the same, that didn't stick the landing, that was crap, then I won't proceed, or I will proceed, but then I'll proceed with caution. I want to keep my expectations where they should be. I always eventually get round to stuff. It's just I'm never quick off the draw.
Yeah, me too.
It'll take me ages, even with Echo dropping all at once. It'll take me ages to pick a day just to sit and go through it. It won't be day one. It will be sometime later that week. If I know we're going to talk about it, then obviously it becomes more of a priority.
Yeah.
But yeah, I won't rush for it.
Yeah, I take my time watching TV shows, because before, all these binging started happening, with streaming services, I never, week by week, I used to watch a show and I was happy with it,
I haven't watched any of the latest What If
Me
series.
neither.
On
I haven't
Marvel.
watched any of them yet.
I haven't
I
watched
finished
any
it
of them
yesterday and quite enjoyed
But
it. so-
when I do, I'll literally watch a couple or watch all of them. Like however it will be, I will put it on and then I'll finish it.
Yeah.
And again, because they're anthology, because they're different each time, it doesn't matter if one of them's bad. You move on to the next one.
Fuzzy's just saying here he's a binge watcher. Can't watch week to week. I prefer to watch six episodes in a row. I'm the same, Fuzzy, and that's how I read these days as well. I prefer to read in a big
honest to
lump.
God, I wish everything dropped all at once now.
Yeah.
I think it was nice for a while. Sometimes like it's the excitement of week to week. Like I remember when WandaVision was on and like the anticipation of like, an episode will end on a stinger. What's it going to be and theorizing and all. Now I'm just sick of that. And I just I just want to watch it all. Like
The problem is that obviously we want to talk about it as YouTubers. We go on like the Saturday live show and stuff like that, and we want to discuss it with friends, and I think that's a huge part of watching it weekly. And you don't get that if people are binging at different different times and at different amounts.
I think for me, it's part of what we were talking about earlier about movies and things like that. It's if you've got to say, I don't know, Game of Thrones, for example, 10 episode season, I don't know what it is, and you're going to wait until the end of episode 10, there's a fair chance you're going to have. So, for example, me watching Game of Thrones, I knew a lot of the big stuff was coming, like the Red Wedding and all that kind of stuff. So you run that risk of having things spoiled for you, but like we're talking about with the movies at the start, But I completely agree. There are things that I think go on for so long that I'd rather just wait and watch it all at one lump. So, for example, you mentioned Breaking Bad there. I've never watched an episode of Breaking Bad. It's something that I will go back and watch at some point. But it's just not something that's on my list at the moment. Fuzzy's just mentioning there, what if interested, we'll talk about this on Saturday's show. I found it a mixed bag, I have to say. As a Captain Carter lover, great, because I had tons of Captain Carter in it. But it I can't say any of it really blew my socks off as I was expected.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't
lot of
seen
solid
What If yet. I'm just hopefully it'll be good, So I'm probably gonna just binge it, one night. One thing when I'm watching TV at night or anytime, one thing that I have a habit of, and I wish I would stop. I have to put it away sometimes, is I keep on constantly looking at my phone while I'm watching TV. I was like, damn it, watch the show.
That's a really good point, Efren, and that's something that I stick in my brain now, because if I do that, it's a good sign that actually I'm not particularly invested in this anymore. So, for example, Doctor Who, used to be a big Doctor Who fan, and I watch Doctor Who as I'm playing on my phone, and that's because it's just not sucking us in anymore. And I did that with a few of the What If episodes, if I'm honest. It was just a bit.
Sometimes though, you do need that type of show. You don't, entertainment wise, or you need that chill time where you don't have to concentrate too much and you just have something on in the background. I'm a big believer in that.
Cookery shows. That's what I do for that. Yeah.
Right on. You guys ready for the next slide? Got some more shows we can talk about here.
Yeah, let's do it.
We have Star Wars: The Acolyte.
What about the Acolyte? Yeah. I'm excited for this.
Yeah. So I don't know. It didn't have an exact date of when it's coming out, but it's the new installment in the Star Wars franchise is coming to Disney Plus in 2024. Set about 100 years before the events of the Phantom Menace. So hopefully it'll be a good show.
Yeah, just original characters, new time period, no need for Skywalkers or anything. I'm very good, and I think there'll be a lot of like multiple people with lightsabers fighting at the same time. I think that's going to be really cool to see as well. So
yeah. So hopefully it'll be a good series. So I just would, I don't know, man. Star Wars. It's so hard not to move away from the original movies and all these characters. Trying to build something new, but this is 100 years in the past. So hopefully it will grab everybody's attention.
You'll get a Yoda in there. I'd say that's the only familiar character we'll see.
Yeah, he's like 800, 900 years old, so he's always around, which is a good thing, I think. So, This other one is based on a movie, I believe, was with I think that's how Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a TV series now. So we don't just always just talk about superhero or Star Wars. There's some other types of shows that are coming out also. This is called Mr. and Mrs. Smith. It's coming out February of 2024. This series follows John and Jane Smith, a married couple that enters a new phase of their relationship when they become spies. One of the actors, who to me is one of the really good actors, Donald Glover. You know, he's going to be in the lead role in this.
Love him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's such a great actor. You know.
So the thing is, for those of you who don't know, even that Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie one was a remake. It was like a
Oh, wow.
it was a much older film.
50s, 60s, isn't it?
Yeah, and the idea of the Mr. and Mrs. Smith characters has existed for a really long time in TV shows, fiction, etc. So it'll be interesting what sort of spin they put on a TV show, because obviously you've got to drag it out that much further than what you would do in a movie.
Yeah, so hopefully it'll be a good series, you know. So they have good actors, so that's one good thing going for it, you know. Next one up is Ripley. This is a thriller miniseries that may be familiar to some audiences. It's coming to Netflix. Ripley is a miniseries based on Patricia Highsmith's novel, The Talented Mr. Ripley. Notably, this book was adapted into a movie in 1999.
So that's one of my favorite movies. I love
Never
that
seen
movie.
it, but
Matt Damon?
Matt
Yeah,
Damon,
Matt Damon.
and Jude Law.
Yeah,
Gwyneth Paltrow's in there as well. It's a star-studded cast. It is one of those great movies, and it really keeps you on the edge of your seat because you don't want him to get found out, even though he's dodgy as fuck. Like he's
I don't
But
think
yeah,
I've ever seen it. I don't think I've
the
ever
thing
seen
is that they kind of done a sequel to it already called Ripley's Game, and I couldn't get into that at all. So I think it's very much
And then
just
Ripley's
that one
Believe It or Not,
version.
isn't it? Comes after that.
No, I don't think that's quite the same thing, James.
I love Andrew Scott. He's a fantastic actor. So like seeing him in the title role, I think it's going to be good. So I'm.
Is that the guy?
For him.
Is that the guy who played Moriarty in Sherlock?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah. I know his dad.
Oh,
oh wow. Are you going to be in the show?
I'll ask him. If we can get me in.
Last one on our list is actual comedy. It's a Palm Royale. It's coming out March 20th, 2024 on Apple TV. This is the series is based on a book called Mr. and Mrs. American Pie, written by Juliet McDaniel. The story follows a woman who is determined to find her place in Palm Beach high society in the late 1960s. So Kristen Wiig stars in it. She used to be a regular on Saturday Night Live, an actress, and she was in Wonder Woman #2, which is one of the terriblest movies ever made, but that's beside the point.
was she in Ghostbusters as well? Is that
Right.
The female Ghostbusters.
Yeah, female Ghostbusters, yeah. And Laura Dern, she was in Jurassic Park, I believe, the original Jurassic Parks.
Yep.
Last
And
Jedi.
Allison Janney. And Ricky Martin, I presume they mean Ricky Martin, the singer, and Carol Burnett. I was like, whoa, man, they're going old time with her. You know, it's like she's in her 90s at least, I think. You know, but it's a comedy, and it's going to be released March 20th, 2024. So I had to put a comedy in here, you know. So hopefully all these shows will be good and we'll be watching them.
Let's hope that it's actually a comedy, because I feel like we can't make comedies anymore. I feel
Yeah.
like everyone's too scared to push the envelope. Like I want them to take risks and take chances. We need proper comedy again.
Really quick, guys, as far as streaming services goes, which ones do you guys subscribe to? I have Netflix, Disney Plus, and Hulu.
So I have Disney Plus, but my kids have Netflix because there's certain things on there that they love to watch. I haven't watched Netflix myself for a number of years now. There's never really been anything that interests me. But the Disney Plus for like the Marvel and the Star Wars content, as and when I get to it, then that's the one I go for. And then obviously you got Spotify for music as well.
Yeah.
I think we've got most of them. I think
Yeah.
we've got Disney, Amazon, Netflix, Sky Movies, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, my
and
mates
Apple
make fun of me for
TV,
how
I
many
think.
Yeah, there's Apple TV, there's Paramount also.
I have Paramount, so yeah, I don't have Apple, but yeah, Amazon, Netflix.
And you still go
Disney,
to the cinema
Paramount.
every week.
Yeah.
Shudder. I have Shudder as well, which
I've not
I've only
got
ever
Shudder.
watched one movie on.
What's it called?
Shudder. It's like a horror movie one, but it's
Oh,
got shit
yeah.
horror movies like that you've never heard of for the most part.
Yeah.
Like there's maybe only ever 5 movies at a time you've ever heard of, you know, and the rest of it's crap. And I had it for a year, never watched a thing, and then I left it for 2 months, and then I needed to get it again to watch a fucking movie for the horror channel. So stuck with it now. I'll just keep it. So it's only
Fuzzies.
$5 a month anyway. But
Fuzzy's just saying here about Apple TV. I think we got I don't think we've got Apple actually, Fuzzy. I think we've got do you know when you get a free 3-month subscription or something like that? And then I watched Monarch on it, or the first half of Monarch, and it was cack. So I won't be buying it again unless I get another free subscription.
Whichever
Here-
streaming service ends up with Masters of the Universe, I will pay money and be watching every week.
Really?
I would imagine it'd be Netflix because they're so tied into.
I
It's
think
weird that they don't
Amazon-
have it yet.
I think Amazon might grab it.
Yeah.
Here in the United States, they combine, like Walmart is combined. If you subscribe to Walmart, you know, home, when they send things to your house, they also combine it with Paramount Plus and a lot of telephones. They combine them too, like with Netflix or Hulu and stuff like bundling.
yeah.
You know, do they do that over there also?
So
think
yeah,
so.
I do have Amazon Prime as well because we pay for the delivery from Amazon. So I that's where I watch The Boys. I think is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
right? It's on Amazon, isn't it?
Yeah, and
I have,
Invincible's
and
on
Invincible,
Amazon as
yeah.
well. Gen V.
Yeah,
I like
I haven't started
pre-Amazon.
Gen V yet, but that's another one that I'm holding
it's good.
out, and then I'm going to binge
great,
watch
yeah.
it.
Cheers.
Finished.
I have
Yeah,
like
it's good.
3 Amazon subscriptions because I have Kindle and Audible as well.
Wow. So there's so many streaming
Too
services
much.
out there, man.
Should
Too
really
much.
cut back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next slide. I think these are 2 ones that popped up at the end too. This is the actor that we were talking about previously who played Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
Austin Butler, that's it, isn't
That's
it?
awesome. But
Yeah, yeah.
Masters of the Air is premiering January 26th. I believe it's on Netflix. This is one of the most anticipated series of 2024's Masters of the Air. This war drama tells the story of the 100th Bomb Group of the United States Army Air Forces who earned the nickname the Bloody Hundreds after facing significant losses during World War II. So looks like they're giving it really high ratings. They gave it besides House of Dragons, they put this at number 2 of Masters of the Air.
I can't wait for this. I think this looks great. I think it's on Apple TV.
Apple TV, yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
it looks phenomenal. So yeah, really looking forward to this one.
Barry Keoghan's great actor. Cam Turner's great. And Kuti Gawa's the new Doctor Who fella, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's a sequel. It's a companion series to Steven Spielberg's and Tom Hanks' Band of Brothers and the
Band of
Pacific.
Brothers. Yeah.
Yeah, so looks like it's going to be a really good series.
Band of Brothers. Now there's a series. That's an amazing series.
Never seen it. God,
Oh,
there's
very
so
good.
many shows out there you just don't see. You know, so
a few
and I'm
years old,
retired.
that now,
I should be watching all these.
I've heard
99
that
or
that's
something,
making
isn't it?
its way back over to Netflix, I believe.
Is it? I'm not sure.
There's quite a lot. So do you know what? The merging of some of these streaming sites, we can see it happening already. They're already starting to loan things out to each other or rent things out to each other. So I know that Disney are actually giving Netflix a lot of stuff as well to be
Oh,
able
wow.
to air and have on their streaming site. But yeah, some of the oldies are heading back over to Netflix.
Very cool. Very cool. Fuzzy's just saying Band of Brothers is tremendous. Yeah, and the Pacific is very cool as well. I like that as well.
So, and the last slide that I just picked up, I just thought of this one at the last minute, so I put it in there, is Ted. Looks like it's a prequel to the Ted movies, and the original started Mark Wahlberg. I thought it was hilarious. So hopefully this is a good series. Yeah, I forgot what streaming service is going to come on, but it's the same voice actor, obviously Seth MacFarlane, who does Family Guy, which is one of my favorite series out there right now.
The trailer for this is very good, actually. The
Yeah.
trailer for this is quite funny. Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully this will be a good series. So his teenage years, to see what kind of hijinks they get into. Yeah,
Yeah.
And
looks very
I'm-
cool.
I believe you're
It's Peacock.
up next.
It's
Oh,
on
Peacock.
Yeah.
All right, James, you're up next. You get control. You can take it
It's
away.
funny because right before you said, asked like us to do video games for this, I was only just thinking of what games are actually out the next year, and I
Yeah.
was looking through it anyway. There's not a huge amount like I'm particularly excited for. There's 2 main ones for me. Suicide Squad is out in February, I think. So that is the Rocksteady who did the Batman games, the Arkham games. It's set in the Arkham universe as well. It's a continuation of that. So that's the exciting element for me. People have been kind of shitting on it since we've seen gameplay, and there's a lot of kind of money grabby aspects. It feels like the live service elements. It's a game that's designed to keep, rather than just playing for 30 hours and being done with it, you're supposed to just continuously play it like forever, you know. So that's like, so hopefully they've scaled that back since the backlash. But I like the story. I think it looks fun, so I'll give it a shot anyway. So like curious how that'll turn out. I'm sure the story is going to be great regardless. There is a Tomb Raider trilogy remaster coming out, so they've kind of like cartoonized the graphics. The first 3, I assume they've updated the gameplay, so it's a bit smoother as well. So like that's one I have a lot of nostalgia for those games. So that'd be something really fun to go back to. But the big one for me is Star Wars Outlaws. Like that's, you know, the open world Grand Theft Auto-esque Star Wars game. So that's supposed to be this year. I'm hesitant because it's Ubisoft if it's actually going to be this year, but if it is, it'll be like November. But fingers crossed that's going to be out this year anyway.
Do you ever rent games beforehand that you say you want to buy one, you know, it's like Star Wars Outlaws. I want to try it, and then, you know, if I like it, I'll buy it, or do you just go out and buy them?
So Peter might know this on Xbox. Is there like a trial thing for Game Pass or something? Isn't there?
If you've got it, yeah. If you've got a, so I think it's the same for PlayStation, isn't it? I think you get like if you've got one of the download packages, you get to try some of the new games for a month or something like that, and then it saves your progress, but you lose the game. But if you buy the game, it continues on. If that makes sense.
That was going to be my question. I'm glad you answered that.
Yeah.
Like a 24-hour like access kind of thing.
Yeah,
I know
something
some PlayStation games do it, not all of them.
So Peter's the new gaming expert now, right?
Yes,
Because
yeah.
he's actually
Tell
got
us
some
about Stalker
consoles.
2, Peter.
Yeah. So I am no, that's I got to play. So my son of Santa Claus got a Xbox One. Xbox One, is that the newest Xbox?
Xbox Series X.
Whatever. Yeah, he got a fancy new Xbox for Christmas.
Okay, the new Xbox.
Boxing Day, I convinced my wife to get us a PlayStation, so we got a PlayStation 5, and I've played on it around about 10 minutes since then, and he's played on it obsessively, compulsively since.
Well, tell him to.
So he's
go
ignored
play
his Xbox.
and play your PlayStation, man.
Yeah. So say again, Luke.
He's ignored his Xbox and
Pretty much.
gone for
I mean, you already
PlayStation.
had
PlayStation.
it. To be fair, you already had an Xbox, so this was an update kind of version. But we've got a ton of games on the Xbox. I have played a little bit on Spider-Man. That's very cool. Been enjoying that. Been playing Final Fantasy, which I really enjoyed. We're playing Mortal Kombat at the moment. That's good. We've got the the PlayStation Pass thing. So we've downloaded a load of games. I have relented, and James will shake his head at us, but I've bought the Avengers game. I know it's meant to be dog shit, but it's Avengers.
It doesn't really exist anymore.
Yeah.
It's been
you can't get
delisted.
updates and things, can you?
Yes, I think literally when you go on, there's no like all the shit that people hate, which was like with people are complaining about Suicide Squad, the money grubbiness of it and the grinding and all that shit. I'm pretty sure when you boot it up, you have everything, like all the costumes, all the stuff.
Yeah.
So like it might actually be a good single player game. I've actually been wanting to kind of just go and just play through it now, like since all that crap is out of it.
Yeah. So that's why I picked it up to have a go on that. We've got
I might grab it
Alien-
after you when you're finished with it. I'll take your copy.
And I have relented, and I've gone back and picked up the first version of a little game that James might have mentioned now and then called The Last of Us. So yeah, I'll give that one a go as
Now,
well.
did you get The Last
yes,
of
but
Us, The
which
Last of Us
version?
Remastered, or The Last of Us Part 1?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I was in the local charity shop and I found a like a case for The Last of Us, and I got so excited. And when I opened it up to see if it was in there, it was empty, and I was a little bit gutted. Granted, I don't have a console to play it on, but I might have bought one if I found the game.
Yeah.
I only,
Could've been
to be
cool to
fair,
have.
we only got the console because I was so tired of Fuzzy Dunlop giving us jip, saying, "Oh, is this going to be the year you buy a console?" So I thought, you know what, Fuzzy, it is.
I buy both.
It is. I buy it just to spite you, Fuzzy. That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's guess. Another game. Speaking of Last of Us, is The Last of Us Part 2 PlayStation 5 version coming out February, I think. So there's like they're adding some like I don't think it's weaved. It's like they're unfinished, but there's some like deleted levels that are going to be kind of put in. I think there's like audio, like director's commentary that while you're playing and stuff. Like when you're walking through an environment, you hear like the cast talking about it and stuff. So that seems really cool. So like I've not played Part 2 since it came out because it's just so harrowing. So I'm excited for like a reason to just go through that again.
So James, serious question. It's not me taking the mick or anything. have you purchased The Last of Us on each console that's been out since it first came out, like that same game?
Yes. So PlayStation 3,
Yep.
then the PlayStation 4 remaster, then the PS5 remake. I bought 2 copies of the PS5 remake. Well, Ephraim bought me one. Sent me a. I bought 2, so 2 versions on the PS5. Yeah, so like I've had
The,
to
the only
had to
reason
buy
the
it
only
now.
reason why I bring it up is because I get laughed and mocked at quite a lot because I like to rewatch movies. So obviously I buy a movie and I'll watch it over and over again. And I get that for most people they don't do that. They watch it once and that's it. But to buy a game, like that's proper dedication because you're going to play
Well,
that like again on a whole new console for that same number of hours, right?
I mean, I would liken it more to like a director's cut, a new director's cut that's come out. Like they improved the visuals and added new bits and bobs and whatever. So, yeah, like PS3, because The Last of Us came out right at the tail end of PS3's life cycle. So everybody had moved on to PS4. You couldn't play PS3 games on PS4. So like having it available to like I don't see the point in doing a PS5 version because you can play the PS4 version on the PlayStation 5. Whereas I understand if it's like locked on PlayStation 3 why you would do one. There's tons of PS3 games. People are Bloodborne, specific example. People are just crying for a PS4 or PS5 version so they can play it on a modern console because you can't. It's stuck on.
I'm actually on the lookout for a PS3 myself. Like that would be the one that I buy because I know I can get The Last of Us. I know I can get a reasonably decent Spider-Man game, and I know there's a few other games like Red Dead Redemption and stuff like that I can play on there too.
Yeah, both Red Dead Redemptions are on it. GTA 5 is on it. So like, yeah, there's tons on.
Because there's no way I'll be able to get whatever they're on now, 5s and 6s and God knows what. Like,
yeah.
I'm outpriced.
To be honest, we're 3 years into the PS3. Yeah, 3 years into the PlayStation 5's life cycle. There's not that many games that aren't on PS4 on it. You know, you're more future proofing. Like Outlaws is going to be PS5 only. But what else is out this year? Hellblade 2: Senua's Sacrifice. So that's a sequel to an amazing game. Called Hellblade. It's going to be Xbox exclusive. I think Xbox bought the company that made it. But that's a really cool, like, kind of action, psychological thriller kind of thing. Like, you put headphones on and, like, the main character is schizophrenic. So they're like, you hear whispers and stuff like that. It's visually quite cool. So that's going. And then Prince of Persia is a side-scrolling game. So, like, I love Prince of Persia, but I'm not really that excited. I don't really like the art style either. So I'm, like, a bit on that one.
I remember playing Prince of Persia for the first time. I think it was on a Sega Master System. Might have been a Mega Drive.
That original one was brutal. Like, it's so difficult.
It's
like,
so good.
Lag when you try and jump. It's just
It's so addictive though. Like those sort of platform games, they're just you know that's where my heart is when it comes to video games. I like those old arcadey type things.
Yeah. So, Efren, if you could only play one of these games this year, which would it be?
Gosh, the only console I have right now, the only game I'm playing right now, in my home is Mario Kart, Super Mario Brothers, and I love that. I just love the graphics on there. Yeah. On here, I think I'd have to, but just familiarity with Star Wars. I think I would pick that one. You know?
Yeah, that's my most anticipated. Yeah. It's like honestly, Suicide Squad. I'm like, it's not exploitation. It's actually a very well researched and well thought out portrayal of mental illness in the game. Yeah. Peter, look it up. It's actually.
I think it's great. You
widely
pretend
beloved.
you've got mental health issues and have voices in the head. Great.
You don't pretend you're going through.
It's like a mental health simulator. Is that what you're saying? It's like a
no. It's you're going through a
simulator.
a character's experience, and so they replicate, things. It's actually like lauded by mental health organizations. That game, so for its representation, So there you go, Peter. Yeah, but for me, Star Wars is the main one. Like that's the I'm praying that's this year.
You talk so much about this. I know we're talking about games that are coming out this year, but you talk so much about the Harry Potter one. How much you really enjoyed that game. I think that's another game I would like to play.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an excellent one. One of the best.
I was playing that last night.
Oh, you were?
It's on Switch. So,
it's that good, huh?
Yeah,
I gotta buy me.
I'm in no way a gamer, right? I'll say that, but we did get a Nintendo Switch here for Christmas, and there's 2 games that I've been playing. One of them being Pokemon, and one of them being this Hogwarts Legacy, the Harry Potter one.
Yeah.
They're good fun. I don't know how often I'll ever sit down and play it. Like I'm playing it last night. I probably won't pick it up again for days, if not weeks. But they're fun.
So one more question I got for you, James. You know, with the success of The Last of Us as a TV series and also the Mario Brothers movie, are there any games that you would like to see, or all of you can answer this, obviously, any type of games you'd like to see on TV or in the movies?
There's a few that have been. Most of the ones I would want have been announced. Like there's a Fallout TV show. Well, not for me, but in terms of like what's coming out adaptation wise, there's a Fallout TV show coming out this year. There's posters, I think, a trailer for that as well. Borderlands mentioned earlier. Be curious, but like ones I want, mostly PlayStation franchises, like, and they've all been announced. I have a video on my channel about everything that PlayStation Productions is working on. But there's like God of War is the big one for me. I think Amazon is
Been
making
playing
that.
That's very good actually.
Yeah, that's going to be an incredible. That'll be like a Last of Us level. Could be a Last of Us level
Wow.
TV show. If they do it right, you know. So that's one. Horizon, I think Netflix is making. That'll be great as well. There's another one. There's another. It's escaping me now, but there's another kind of big PlayStation franchise that's getting an adaptation. That Days Gone, I think, is getting one as well. So yeah, I mean, there's tons. Most of the ones you would want, or the obvious ones, are in production or at some stage in development. But like game adaptations are notorious for just like being talked about and then never happening. Like the guy
Sure.
that did Skull Island, 5 or 6 years ago, was announced to be doing a Metal Gear movie, and there's just no word on that at all. I think like 10 years ago, Tom Hardy was cast as Sam Fisher in a Splinter Cell movie. That's not happened. Jake Gyllenhaal was supposed to be in a Division movie. That didn't happen. So, you know, I believe it when it's actually like in production, like when they're
Yeah.
filming. You know. So,
Yeah, exactly. One is in production. What about the rest of you guys? Any video games you want to see being made into movies or TV shows?
I'll go back older ones, I guess. I think I'll go Altered Beast, something like that. Give us like a good werewolf kind of thing. And also Metal Gear Solid. Big fan of those games back in the day, so I'd like to see that kind of stuff.
I want Abe's Oddworld Odyssey. Padbear just mentioned it up there from the PS1 days. I also really want NECA to like make action figures from that series. That would be so cool. I know they've done like Spyro the Dragon before. Like it'd be nice if they could go back and do some Abe's Odyssey.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
So if I were to buy a PlayStation game, a console, I'll let you guys know. Yeah, so,
I tell you what, we've been playing on most on the PlayStation. Got all these bloody fancy, expensive games and stuff. And as part of the pass, I can't remember if you mentioned it a while ago, Luke, but you get a side-scrolling game called Splinter's Revenge. Not Splinter's, Shredder's Revenge. And it's kind of the old style Turtles
Shredder's Revenge,
side-scroll.
yeah.
And it's those kind of graphics as well. That's great fun. Being
That's on
two-player games on
Netflix.
that.
I downloaded
You know,
that
Netflix
on
is doing
the,
games now that you can. Yeah, you can play that on Netflix now.
I downloaded that for the Switch. Cost me £2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it free as part of the download thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very, very cool. That's good fun. Good fun.
all right, guys, you ready for the next one? Next slide. I think we're done. James, anything else to add before we move forward?
Please tell me Star Wars Outlaws comes out this year. That's all I can really care, because it's going to be a quiet year for gaming for me,
Yeah.
at least. Otherwise, and like, you know, there'll be stuff like halfway through the year that'll get announced. That's for the end of, like, some games only have a 6-month announced to release window. So hopefully, you know.
I'm looking forward to the Final Fantasy game because I like that kind of universe, and we've just we've picked up what's the is it Elder Scrolls or something?
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, yeah, picked up Elden Ring. So I like that kind of big world ones, which is I think what Outlaws is going to be a bit like, where you can just kind of there's no end point to the game. You can just
It's
keep
open
playing
world.
and playing and playing.
Grand
Yeah.
Theft Auto. It's like, explore, do what you want. Yeah.
Okay, next up, I had to put this in there. We're going to be our last subject before this one will be comic books, but I had to put comic conventions. Any of you guys going to comic book? I know we are going to comic book conventions this year. Obviously, you know it's part of our DNA, so to speak. I'm going to WonderCon, which is in Anaheim, which is a sequel to not a sequel, but it's part of the San Diego Comic-Con umbrella. So I'm going to WonderCon, that's in Anaheim, and I'm going to San Diego Comic-Con, obviously the big one in July. And I may try to go to New York Comic-Con this year. You know, I've never been to that one before. I've always wanted to go. What about you guys?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Here you go first.
No, you go ahead, James. Go crack.
Yeah, I've a few Irish ones this year, and then I think me and Peter have talked about a couple as well. We're going to. I have MegaCon Dublin next in a couple of weeks. That's I'm just going to meet John Noble because I'm a fan of. He's plays the Scarecrow in Arkham Knight, so I just want to get him to sign a poster of that. Dublin Comic Con's in March. the Grand Theft Auto cast are going to that, so I'll go to meet them, and it's going to be yearly. I always go to Dublin Comic Con, so that's a good time. Peter, we're going to Liverpool in the summer, aren't we?
I've lost track of all the ones.
I think we have May. We have a Liverpool. Like just the Sunday we're going because we're going to see The Last of Us live on the Saturday.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so we're popping on Liverpool to go to the Sunday for that.
We've got HorrorCon as well, haven't we?
HorrorCon or New York? Are we still talking New York?
I don't know, but there's another HorrorCon in, I want to say,
Sheffield?
March. Yeah, Sheffield. I'm keen to go to. I've got Toy Cons every other week. Every other month.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and do one of the London cons this year, probably. And there's an action figure con in Bolton, which means Charlie and some of the other guys are probably going to go to as well. And I'd love to go to Transformer Nation Con. Just waiting on seeing who the guests are for that. There's Destination Trek just been announced in Blackpool, so it's a Star Trek convention end of July. So I might try and pop along to that.
I'll go dressed as a Jedi if you want.
Yeah, that'll be fun. If they get a big name, if they get someone like Shatner or something like that, then I'll definitely be going to that. And I am going to try and get over to Dublin. I think I might try and do one of the.
Oh, please, man.
The cons over
definitely.
there.
March we have Dublin Comic Con, so try and get over for that maybe.
Yeah.
Luke, anything for Comic Con this year?
So I want to try and get to as many conventions where these two fellas are going. Just spend some time with friends. Not necessarily for the con itself, but just because it's a good meeting point. It ticks a lot of boxes. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be the 40th anniversary for Turtles. So if Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird end up doing a tour, whether it be here in the UK or anywhere in Europe, I will probably book tickets and jump on a flight and go wherever I need to go and get some books signed by them. I don't know if anything's happening. I've not heard or seen anything, but a 40th anniversary seems pretty special. So fingers are crossed.
So here in the United States, obviously, they have CGC and CBCS. Are they prevalent over there also, or you have to go like through a third company, so to speak? And if you wanted to go down that route.
Yeah, so more often than not, there'll be a presence there, there's a couple of people that we know who basically can verify, and they'll take hold of your books, and they're all very trustworthy. Worked with them for years, so yeah, they'll do all that.
When I seen pictures that Peter had posted about Thought Bubble, that's the first time I felt left out. You guys were just having so much damn fun. I went, dang it!
Man.
Now I was like, I got
November.
Man.
Come on,
come on over there.
Maybe we'll talk about it come August, July or August. I'll start talking to you guys about that. You guys are just having so much damn fun. I'm not even talking about the convention when Luke said, just you guys hanging out. I go, damn, I feel left out.
Yeah,
just watching you guys, Yeah. So, yeah. But, yeah, hopefully it will be a good con season in 2024. The excitement always builds up. But then when you get there, having to wait in line for hours and hours, kind of burns it. I tried to stop doing that, at Comic-Con, just when I was younger, just wait line after, especially for Stanley's signature, the lines just went on for hours, throughout the whole day, it was crazy. But they're still, like I said, Comic-Cons are just part of us now, I just enjoy them so much, makes me feel like a kid again, especially San Diego Comic-Con.
I'm kind of dipping my toes more into toy cons, to be honest, to not necessarily the Comic Cons, but maybe the subject specific ones like HorrorCon or whatever, or Sci-Fi Con. But yeah, I'm enjoying my toy fairs and things.
The toy fairs are something special, it's more like a little market than it is a convention, and it's all so relaxed. There's no big queuing or anything like that. You just go in and find what you want. I really like toy fairs. In fact, Peter, that's something that you and I need to arrange. We should go to a few of those together. I noticed you posting about that action figure one.
Yeah.
When you guys now toy fairs, obviously I've never been to a toy fair. Is it just like Sideshow collectibles toys, or just any toys just across the
more like 80s?
It's like a car boot sale. It's like a flea market.
Okay.
Yeah. Can be anything, Efren. Anything.
Yeah. All right, guys, you guys ready for the last subject? I had to hold this one for last, obviously. And that's comic books. I didn't put any slides. I didn't find anything, specifically for Marvel or DC or any of the indie books. But, Peter and I talked that Marvel's going to have another big event. I think it's going to be the Avengers and X-Men. I'm not sure. I'm sure DC is going to have their big events for this year also. But I'm more interested, and we've been reading more and more of the indie books, which I just happen to enjoy a lot more. I still read Marvel and DC, but to me, indie books are just fresh and new, and that's what I enjoy about them a lot.
Yeah. Completely agree. I have to be honest, Efren, the big event crossovers don't particularly interest us. Marvel's, I don't know what DC's is this year, but Marvel's, well, they do about 3 or 4 a year, to be perfectly honest. But there's a one, Vampire Nation, I think it's called, which looks quite interesting, which is the vampires kind of becoming more prominent in the Marvel universe. Sure, they tried that a few years back with the X-Men and didn't work out particularly well, because Jubilee was turned into a vampire for a while, I think.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm all about the indie books at the moment. I'm enjoying them far more than the Marvel and the DC stuff. Really excited. I'll follow Simon. Sorry, I apologize. Can't get his name right. Simon Kredensky. Can't remember his surname is. Well, whatever he does next. So he did something epic, and then he's done Blood Commandment. He's got a few books coming out this year. He sent us some images of stuff on Instagram. He's got a lot of great independent stuff coming out this year, so I'll definitely be following that. And yeah, for me, indie comics is where it is, and it's more, I like more the horror-ish kind of books, the more kind of stuff like that, the darker stuff, I guess, rather than my people in spandex.
There's this one book that you recommended I'm reading right now. To me, it's such a good storyline. The Devil Who Wears My Face, I believe it's called. Oh my God, that is such a good story. I was like, oh my God, I could see this being made into a movie. That's how good I thought it was, or a TV show, like
very cool.
A streaming show. Oh, that's such a good series, though. What about the rest of you guys? You looking forward to more Marvel, DC, more mainstream? Or are you guys more into the indie books?
I'm a big Marvel buzz lately. I've been catching up actually on a lot of.
You've been sending us messages too about that.
I've had a lot of time to just to read and catch up on some stuff. So, Punisher I read through, which was incredible.
Jason Aaron.
Yes, Jason Aaron's one. So I am hoping we get this year a follow up to what's Frank Castle it leaves him in a very interesting place. At that, so I'm hoping that's followed up on this year. Daredevil I'm reading at the moment, so whatever is coming with Daredevil, I know it's into this next volume now, so I'm excited for what's going to happen in that. And then What If introduced a new character called Kahuri, so I would imagine we're going to get at some point this year her first comic appearance, and there's going to be a big buzz, and people are going to fucking stomp on each other to get that first appearance, and then it's going to die down a few months later, but
pretty cool character.
I'm curious how they'll introduce her in.
Yeah, pretty cool character. I quite liked her.
Yeah, I loved her. Yeah.
Luke, what about you? Anything that's grabbing your interest so far that you want to read?
So last month I pulled the plug on my pull list, and I decided that I'm just getting out of the collecting of single issues. So much like how I watch my TV shows, this is going to be binging. So I'm going back to just enjoying reading comics and not collecting them. So no more books on my pull list, apart from one. I still have Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees on my pull list. But apart from that, everything else has been stopped, and I'm going all in with graphic novels or omnibus editions or anything else. So again, I'm not going to be quick on the draw with these. I'm hearing what people are suggesting, what people are saying is good, and I'm taking note of it to then buy it when I can in a larger format. Again, it does mean I'm going to fall behind with a lot of stuff, and when we talk about such things, I won't have much to share. But I think that's the better way to do it. That's
the beauty, Luke. I've been talking to you guys for years. That's how I do it. I pick up issues of books that I really enjoy as a keepsake, but I buy and I read in graphic novel format. And because of the way you do it like that, you can go back and you discover series that people have been talking about for years, but you get that buzz. So, for example, for Christmas, I got the 4th volume of Deadly Class. Deadly Class is a series that I just totally missed out on. I've got a pile of graphic novels here, actually. So this series by Rick Remender, I think it's called. This is a friggin' amazing series, and that's how I like to read. Look at that, man. Wow. Massive art, beautiful artwork, lovely bound book. It's just my preferred way of reading. And a bit like when we're talking about TV, I said I prefer to binge. That's how I prefer to read. Reading a monthly book does my nuts in because I forget or I can't. If you're reading a lot of monthly books, it all jumbles into one and you kind of lose track. I'd much rather have a complete story to read for me.
Yeah. Well, a large part of this was because I went back and read the Turtle stuff by Mirage, and I also picked up the Usagi Yojimbo stuff. So that's kind of been the ignition for me to do this. I've just liked having a book open on the table here that I can come to whenever I want, read what I want, and then leave, and it's right there when I want it back again.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be a big change, but like I say, I'm a month in already. Everyone's saying, "Oh, I've got the latest books from my pull list," and I haven't. I'm just sat here waiting now. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
I don't buy as many books as I used to also, but I think I do buy them, and I don't go like for the omnibuses or what you guys do. I think for me, it's almost like a nostalgia buy because I've been buying them for over 50 plus years of comic books. It's just, that's the one thing that's become, a norm for me, just to buy regular issues, so that's come I don't buy them. But I did buy 2 last year, or 3. I did Something's Killing the Children. I bought those, the hardcover ones. And I forgot to get them signed. James Tinian was at Comic-Con. I should have brought him with me and have him signed the covers by a couple. And those books were damn heavy too, though. Man.
Well, do you know, that's the only downside that I can see, because I do like taking my books to Comic-Con to get signed, and if I'm only buying omnibus editions, that's going to be a heavy bag.
Yeah, it's heavy, So, but yeah. So hopefully this will be a good year to read comic books. I'm always keeping my fingers crossed. We'll find a book that just grabs our interest.
I'm trying to find it, Efren, just having a quick look here, but I'm sure I read the other day the team that did Stray Dogs.
Oh, Tony Fleece?
Yeah, I'm sure they're doing a book this year about cats.
Oh, really?
Which is set during a time where, what do you call it? My brain's gone blank. What do you call it when the animals all foam at the mouth? Rabies. Set during a kind of a rabies outbreak. Mm-hmm. I'm sure I read a solicitation for that next year, and it sounded really, really interesting.
Oh, yeah. Is it going to be the same artist too?
I think so. I think it's the same team. I think it's exactly the same team.
Yeah, Trish Forrester. I think that's the artist's name. Yeah. Stray Dogs was such a great book, But yep. So we are done basically with all the subject matters. But I had one more that figured we'd talk a little bit about. If you guys have anything to say about it, our YouTube channels for 2024. Aspirations, what you hope happens. I know last year, Peter and Luke, they got monetized, and I've been trying to get monetized, but I blew it. I got one strike against me like you did, Peter. I'm not going to make a whole video about it, but now I got rid of those videos, and now they say I haven't reached that limit yet. I haven't gotten there yet. So, I don't know when if I will get monetized this year or not, but like I said, I'm not in it for money. I'm just in it to have fun, So what about you guys? Anything coming forward for your channels that you want to happen for 2024?
Who's starting?
Oh, well, James turned on his microphone,
James,
so I
yeah,
thought
No, I was getting ready in case my name was thrown out there. Yeah, then we full tilt with One Good Scare, I think, for this year. So we've got the live show every second Friday. I'll be right back. We've got that planned pretty much till I think May or June or something. Exactly what every episode's going to be. So yeah, lots to come from that. Since Peter has a PlayStation now, we can do some gaming, a bit more gaming stuff together. I think Peter has some great stuff on the channel on his own, but yeah, it'd be nice to kind of 2 of us sit down and play, or like multiplayer, do a game together. So that'd be good. Yeah, we've got a couple of ideas for other kind of, segments we could do on it. So like, yeah, there'll be some fun stuff this year anyway.
What about you, Luke? What you got coming for your channel in 2024?
Yeah, so pretty much more of the same. I did start doing some review-based shows where I take like a particular franchise or a particular set of characters and then just explore a lot of different things about it. And I think that's a really nice segue with this whole physical media thing that I'm doing. So it's kind of like drifting into those movies or drifting into those games and then looking at action figures, comics, everything that's associated with it. So they're going to be a lot more rounded videos. So rather than it being, oh, this one's about figures, this one's about movies, this one's about comics, it's just going to encompass everything. It might mean that I put out less videos, but they'll be more in depth and possibly a little bit longer. But we'll see. It's all just trying to find that balance, trying to find that happy medium, because the last thing I want to do is upset my newfound audience that I've got. I need to kind of ease them into the other things that I'm interested in rather than just scaring them off with comic book talk.
Do you guys, when you do your videos, besides the ones we do live, which always, go for at least an hour, your normal videos that are pre-taped, do you guys always try to do like not more than 10 minutes, or do you guys set a limit for yourself?
I personally don't set any expectations or time. I just say what I need to say, and if it's a 2-minute video, it's a 2-minute video. If it's a 20-minute video, it's a 20-minute. I try not to restrict myself. Like it'll be whatever it will be. Even like YouTube now put ads wherever they want anyway. You get no choice. And even if I didn't put ads on something, they still would, and they would still make their money. So yeah, I'd let it play for however long I think the conversation needs to be had for.
Yeah. Peter, what about you? What's the over under of you going like, say, 50 live shows this year at least?
At least. So more of the same for me. I will continue to do whatever I enjoy doing, regardless of whether people watch it, don't watch it, like it, don't like it, whatever. I don't care. I do. My content is all about stuff I enjoy doing. That said, I do have a few changes coming up, a few new kind of stuff. I'm continuing to do my unboxings, my toy unboxings, all that kind of stuff. My live shows will continue. I'll continue to do my Monday night live show and my Saturday night live show. I'll also be doing the Killer Comic Show every Thursday. I'm going to be doing a movie review show. So basically the same kind of format as me and James have been doing with horror movies. I'm going to be doing a very similar thing with old superhero movies. So going back and looking right at the very start of things like The Shadow, Rocketeer, all that kind of stuff. And that's going to be called I Could Watch This All Day. So we're going to be doing that. My comic content, I'm going to start trying to branch out a little bit, and I'm going to try and do more news related things. So videos like, for example, I put a video out yesterday, I think it was, about the CGC scandal. Very aware that there are a lot of American channels doing that, but I'm not sure we've got any English people saying what they think about it. So I'm going to start doing things like that. I'm going to start doing more news-based stuff. And now that James has helped me understand that my camera quality in this room was shit because I had no lights on, this is much easier. So I can just quickly record a video sat here rather than setting up a room and stuff like that. So I can bang out even more content you'll be happy to hear.
So, but yeah, guys, so hopefully everybody enjoyed, and whoever showed up to watch this show, I just, like I said, just popped into my head a couple of weeks ago that we were going to do a 2024 show, what we hope that happens in movies and TVs and etc. But anything else, guys, before we say goodbye?
Thank you, Efren, for doing this, mate. Thoroughly enjoy every show we do together. And I should have said, Efren, obviously, we will be continuing to do our monthly show, rotating between my channel and your channel. So yeah, looking forward to doing more of that.
Yeah, I gotta find new content to have you guys back on my channel. So
I was just about to say, I'm just excited for the stuff we're all going to be doing together as well over next year. It's going to be. I'm sure we're going to have some good times. Cool stuff.
All right, guys, we're all said, all done. Until next time, everybody. See you. We'll probably see Peter in a couple of days, and the rest of us will see throughout the week and throughout this year. So everybody, be safe and take care.